My
Update.
husband told me to undo our
So,
IVF
it turns
procedure.
out I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed because I actually believed my husband when he told me his therapist said it would be good for me to see him with my coworker so I could get over my jealousy. At that point, I was postpartum, sleep deprived, confused, and honestly just trying to survive. I thought maybe I was the crazy one. I asked my husband to drive me to the doctor, since I couldn't drive after a C-section, to see if something was wrong with me. The doctor took one look at me and said I had postpartum depression. I'd stopped eating, wasn't producing milk, and was completely drained. She told me I needed to go home to family, somewhere safe and supportive. So my husband drove me and our newborn 3 days back to my brother's house, which was actually my childhood home. My brother and sister-in-law took me in and helped so much. Being around my mom's old things was oddly comforting. My husband told me to focus on getting better for our marriage and went back home. After a month of being surrounded by love and support, I started to feel human again. I forced myself to eat, went for long walks with my son, and little by little I began to heal. Then my husband came to pick us up. When I got home, he'd cleaned the house. A little too much, like creepy clean. I couldn't even find my toothbrush or half my stuff. He'd put everything away somewhere. A coworker friend came over to visit and brought some serious tea. Apparently, everyone at work knew what was going on between my husband and that female coworker. People were being blunt and cold to both of them, and the boss even sent out an email reminding everyone to leave personal lives out of the workplace. It got so bad that they started avoiding each other. I'll be honest, that felt pretty damn validating. My son was a few months old when my husband started spending weekends away and asking to take our son out. I thought, okay, maybe he's trying to bond. But one weekend while they were gone, I was cleaning our bedroom and, cliché or not, I found an earring under the bed. It wasn't mine. When I confronted him, he stammered and said, "You hid it there to accuse me of stuff." Then he just stormed out. Like, did he really think I planted someone else's jewelry just to argue? After that, he started sleeping in a separate room and ignoring me completely. 3 days later, I'd had enough. I walked in and asked, "Are we done?" He said, "Not if you apologize to me. I thought you'd be better after you got back." I asked, "Apologize for what? You hanging out with other women?" He smirked and said, "Yes." That was it. I told him we were officially done. That night, at 2 a.m., he texted me saying he'd left a bill on the kitchen table. Apparently, if I wanted to stay in the house with my baby, I needed to pay him $1,200 a week. I took it straight to my lawyer. She laughed out loud. A week later, I got a message from a random woman on Facebook. She apologized over and over, saying she had no idea I existed, and told me I could ask her anything about her relationship with my husband. Turns out he met her on Tinder the day he dropped me off at my brother's. He told her his crazy ex-girlfriend had shown up with a baby he didn't know about, and he felt sorry for us, so he let us stay with him for a while. She'd even met my son. He told her they could make a family together, but her friend got suspicious, looked him up online, and found our wedding and maternity photos. That's how she found me. I thanked her for being so kind and honest, and we actually wished each other Merry Christmas later that year. She was lovely, just another one of his victims. After we both dumped him, he spiraled. Started drinking, doing drugs, leaving the doors unlocked at night. And we lived in a very unsafe city. I was terrified. I'd lock myself and my baby in the bedroom every night, always with something nearby to defend us. Eventually, I told my dad and stepmom what was happening. They immediately sent me plane tickets. My son and I got out of there and went to live with them. For the first time in a long time, I felt safe. My lawyer, by the way, was a total pit bull. She loved her job. My ex stopped paying the mortgage and the rates, so the house went into arrears. My lawyer froze everything until the court case. A coworker later told me that after I left, he moved another one of my friends from work, and her 2 kids, into the house. A few months later, he called and said he wanted me to bring our son back for an event. His stepmom, who's actually a good person, would be there, so I agreed. Turns out the event was his wedding, to that same ex-friend. They posted it all over Facebook. In Australia, you have to be separated for a year before you can legally remarry. My lawyer called a few days later and said, "Do you know you have a court case in 3 days?" Apparently, he and his new wife forged documents saying they were just colleagues and that I'd been served divorce papers and ignored them. They wanted a judge to sign off on the divorce without me. I sent screenshots of their wedding photos and said I hadn't received anything. The judge was furious. He even joked about giving me extra time to read the paperwork, but I told him I just wanted it over with. When we finally went to court over the house and property, my ex claimed it was his because I hadn't lived there for a while. My lawyer tore him apart. He'd sold off my belongings, including my late mom's camera and even my car. In the end, I got 60% of the house sale, and his 40% was used to pay back everything he neglected: the mortgage, the rates, and what he owed me for my things. He walked away with nothing. Today, my son is 4. We live peacefully. No more locked doors, no more walking on eggshells. I finished my degree, just 1 unit left. I'm off antidepressants, and I met someone new, someone kind, sober, steady, and good. He treats my son like his own and looks at me like I'm something to be loved, not controlled. After everything, I finally feel safe. And that's worth more than anything my ex could have ever given me.